Hope you're all having a great day. How's your Friday going, everyone? Just so everyone knows, I'm having a little bit of work done in my house. So you might hear a little bit of noise. That's why I had to cancel on Wednesday. And so I hope it's not too much of a problem, but I didn't want to push the class off again. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in here, just so we can go ahead and get started. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Jennifer Tarle from Tarle Speech, and I just wanted to do some housekeeping. That's a great term you might hear at work. Housekeeping not only means you're cleaning your own house, but you just want to generally clean some things up so that you can be a little more organized. Quick updates. I just wanted to let you all know that I just published some single sound mini books for practicing your speaking. Currently, I have all of the consonant sounds uploaded, and they are in individual packages, so one sound each, and then I also published them as a book. The reason I did this, couple reasons. One, people sometimes don't want everything and don't want to pay all that money. And number two, I'm trying to keep things as reasonable as possible because I know a lot of you are students and can't afford a whole lot. Get it, been there, done that. They're on Kobo, Teachers Pay Teachers, iTunes, Google Play, Teespring. I'm working on Amazon right now. Just an aside, all of these places sort of have their own systems. And so it just takes a little bit longer than you could possibly imagine to get them all up there. I have 2 free on Teachers Pay Teachers. You can get those. Also, I have posted after the class, actually, it should go live. I have a few free ones posted on my website. Okay. All the links are always in the description and my cool little new link trees. And I think that's about it there. This little mini preview of what you can expect. It's me with the name of the sound, how to make the sound. Keep in mind, these are general rules. And when we use sounds and words, those things change sometimes. Word practice. This is what I'm most excited about. Audio is embedded in all of the ebooks. And then I have sentences as well. So you can listen and repeat after me. Also, if you're interested, I'm scheduling in-person and virtual classes for summer. I've been talking to a few teachers. Also, all you teachers out there, if you are trying to motivate your students and your class has a request, please send it to me. You can get me on all the socials. My email's also listed. And send me your requests and I'll give a little shout out to your class in the video. I think that that's kind of helpful, trying to motivate kids, especially as the year progresses. What else? Oh, this is super exciting. Special shout out to my cousin, Daniel Lindy. Thank you, Daniel. He helped me set up my podcast. And so now I am on all of these different places. And I think it's Buzzyard or something. Let me see the name of it. Buzzsprout is where I got my feed, and that's all set up. So I'm only going to be posting my lunchtime lives there. And eventually my plan with the podcast is to do a little interview show so you can do some practice listening to native speakers. And I can also get into some more vocabulary and figurative language that we use in certain professions. Okay. Couple of questions before we get started. I see you're already putting some things in the chat. Hi, everyone. We have India today. Akshat, I'll get to your birthday pronunciation. That's a great one. I can't believe I don't have it. And thanks for the good vibes. Okay, are you all interested in small group classes? Let me know, pop something in the chat. I'm also kind of curious, where would you prefer to take them? Facebook or GoToMeeting? And then what topics are you interested in and what dates and times US Eastern Time. So just let me know. I do see some flags in the chat. Unfortunately, my chat is so tiny and I'm getting older eyes. And so if you could let me know your country, that would be awesome. All right. So are we ready? Where was I in 9/11? Oh, let's see. That was a long time ago. Let's be more positive. Let's not go there. So let's go ahead and talk about some word stress today. Okay. I have some tips for you. I think word stress is generally overlooked by a lot of people. It's a little more difficult to sort of conceptualize for a lot of people, and it's even harder to remember where the word stress is oftentimes because spelling sometimes does not help. But I am here to tell you good news. There are some rules where spelling can help you. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay. If you have been watching my heteronym lessons every Friday, I have videos that I just recorded through February. So I have videos through February that I just recorded. I'll be editing those. Those are all on heteronyms. And I probably have about 30 more. So I'm assuming this series is going to continue through the end of 2023 because I have a lot of words and requests that have been coming in, which is great. If you've been watching those videos, you probably notice that when we have a noun or an adjective that has 2 syllables, 2 beats to it, we typically stress syllable number 1 in a noun or an adjective. So again, we're going to stress syllable number 1. The opposite is true with the verb and the preposition. We are going to stress syllable number 2. Okay, so if we look at these words, we have stressing syllable number 1, meaning we are going to make that louder. We are going to make that syllable higher in pitch, and we are going to make it longer. So higher in pitch, louder, and longer. All right, so we have record, produce, happy, burger, cookie. I just made a mistake. We have record, produce. Oh my gosh, you guys, seriously, I did it again. We have, I'm so sorry. We have record, produce, happy, burger, cookie. Oh geez, it's Friday, you can tell, and I think this noise from all this housework is getting to me. So let me do this one more time. We have record, produce, happy, burger, cookie. And then we're going to shift that stress when we have these 2-syllable words that are verbs or prepositions. We're going to shift it to the end of the word to syllable number 2. Again, louder, longer, higher. So we have record, produce, translate, between, and accept. Okay. Same rule when we have compound nouns. We're going to stress the beginning. In this case, it's not a syllable, it's an entire word. So for compound nouns, we're going to stress word 1. And for compound verbs, we are going to stress word 2. Okay? So let's give these a try. We have football, bus stop, North Sea, West Side, haircut. Let's listen to these separate so you can hear the difference. Football, football. Bus stop, bus stop. North Sea, North Sea. West Side, West Side. Haircut, haircut. So again, you can hear that difference. Louder, longer, higher for word number 1. Now let's flip to compound verbs. Again, second word ending here. So we have pay out, payout, check out, checkout, turn off, turn off, perk up, put in, put in. I love this example. Let's do this example, and I want you to listen. I'm going to use the word check out as 2 different things. I'm going to use it as the place where we do the purchase at a store. And then I'm going to use that as also the verb as my action for what I'm doing. So I am going to go to the checkout counter to check out. So I'm going to do that one more time, and I want you all to give that a try. So I'm going to the checkout counter, and I'm going to check out. And let's put both pieces together. I'm going to the checkout counter to check out. Okay, how'd you do? And I see some very familiar names. I know a lot of you leave me some very nice comments from week to week. So I'm assuming these 2 rules here are well known to all of you and that you're able to use and apply those. Okay, so does anyone have a question before we move on? Anybody? Okay, let's keep going then. All right, now let's get into some more of these endings. I get this question a lot. How do we say words that end in ly? This gets confusing. And also words that end in er. Okay, I don't really hear the difference, but I understand. That's very, very common. And I always suggest do a little more listening and try to listen without the written words and kind of think about the musicality of it. For some of my students, I have them hum. And it's easier to sort of change your pitch and your length when you don't have all those other sounds. Okay, so try that if you're really struggling to hear the difference. I bet you hear the difference more than you're actually giving yourself credit for. But it's really hard sometimes to hear that difference when you're trying to think about the words as well. So see if you can hear this with the rhythm part of it and the pitch part of it by doing a little imitation, by sort of humming along with the rhythm of what I'm doing. Okay. Let's do one quick example. So I'm going to do football. And I'm going to do check out. Check out. I'm going to the checkout counter to check out. So try that. See if that helps you a little bit. That usually helps a lot of people. I'm also a big fan of sort of just passive listening. I don't even know the real term for this, but I do love, and I find that when I do travel and I go to a country where people don't speak English, it's really interesting that you can pick up on patterns if you don't know the words just by listening to the people around you. So I think it's useful to listen to a podcast or a movie. And don't worry if you don't get every word. Kind of think of big picture. Think of the patterns. Think of the rhythm. Think of the sounds that you're hearing. And that's a lot of times very, very helpful as well. All right. So when we have a word, getting back to this slide, that ends in ER or LY, the stress is usually on the first syllable in the word. So we have orderly, manager, happily, passenger, passively. Orderly, manager, happily, passenger, passively. Okay. Yes. Okay. Someone just said, nice to know that I have live teaching today. I'm going to try to do this once a month for everybody out there. So let's do some quick practice. I'm going to say the words and you can repeat after me. Okay. Ready? Orderly. Orderly. Manager. Manager. Happily. Happily. Passenger. Passenger. Passively. Passively. Okay, awesome. How did you do? All right, so again, the rule is we're going to stress syllable number 1 in words ending in ER and LY. All right. This gets super confusing, and this is a super great rule for everyone out there. I've been working with a lot of students from Japan who speak Japanese, Spanish speakers, and a lot of speakers from different places in India, different languages, but just from India as the country. Some different languages though, Hindi, Gujarati. And this is a rule that most of my students in those areas of the world aren't familiar with. And the rule is when words end in ik, I-C, shun or shun, so S-I-O-N and T-I-O-N are both shun, which I would spell S-H-U-N in my Jennifer way of spelling, my phonetic way of spelling. If you have words that end in these suffixes, you are going to stress the second to the last syllable in the word. So that means the syllable before the ik, shun, or shun. Okay? All right. So we have promotion, registration, permission, photographic, sympathetic. Okay? So we're going to give those a try again. I'm going to say them normally, and you can just go ahead and repeat. Okay, guys, ready? Promotion, promotion. Registration, registration. Permission, permission. Photographic, photographic. Sympathetic, sympathetic. Okay. So Omar, I feel like I can hear all of you now spiritually coming through. I'm just kidding. That would be awesome if I could definitely hear everyone and I could give you all feedback, which again gets back to, I want to start doing small group classes for everyone out there. Just don't forget to either drop in the chat or send me a message or put it in the comments after the lesson, what topics you're interested in, when you would like to meet, and where, meaning go to meeting or Facebook. Just kind of let me know your thoughts on that. Okay, let me look over here, make sure I'm getting through everything. Okay. Here's our last rule, our last tip for the day, and then we're going to get just into questions and answers, okay? And so when a word ends in C, T, Phi, G, or al, so CY, TY, PHY, GY, and AL, the stress is usually on the third to the last syllable. You see, I have an error in my slides here. I copy and pasted to be fancy, and it bit me here. That is not true. So it's not the syllable before the suffix at all. I'm going to change that before I post this on my website. We are going to stress the third to the last syllable. So 2 syllables before the suffix, 2 syllables before the suffix. Okay. So we have democracy, photography, tactical, commodity, biological, psychological. Okay. Great example would be, I hear a lot of people say photography instead of photography. So that's where that syllable stress really comes into play, is in words that have these exceptions. Oftentimes, syllable stress is relatively easy in words because sometimes, most of the time, the stress tends to come at the beginning of words in English, usually on that first syllable. Again, verbs, we do tend to have more stress in that second syllable, just as a general rule, but we oftentimes have the stress towards the beginning of the words. It's like in my name, Jennifer. It's not Jennifer, Jennifer. And so when we have these rules where the syllables shifts, when the stress shifts, like with this exception and these exceptions, this is really important to know, because learning these exceptions is really going to help you. All right. So let's go ahead and give these a try. Remember 2 before the suffix. Okay. So we have democracy, photography, tactical. I also think it gets confusing because, like, tactical, it's only 3 syllables, right? So you're still going to stress syllable number 1, and that gets confusing there. Commodity, biological, psychological. Okay, how did you do? Awesome. Okay. And I think this is our last slide. Okay. So we're going to get into the question and answer. I'm going to go ahead and shut down my presentation here. And you can go and get the downloads, the free downloads, the free ebooks with audio here. And you can just go to my website. That should be live. It's tarlespeech.com. Also, if you're looking for my podcast information, I have it listed here, or you can just go onto whichever system you use to get your podcast and search Tarle Speech, and that will come up. I did find that I had a very, 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 very old podcast back from when you used to be able to link your all of your information from YouTube straight to a podcast feed. You can't do that any longer, or if you can, I don't know how to do it. So that was on there. I did delete all of those. So hopefully you won't find that once everything clears through the cache. Okay, so I see that GoToMeeting is a good option. I love GoToMeeting because I can actually record the classes and send you a recording, and it has a written transcript included. So I really love that for my students. Okay, Amit, thank you for your kind words. Okay, so let me go ahead and close this out. All right, so we have about 5 minutes left. I'm trying to keep these short and sweet. If we need a few extra minutes, that's totally fine. What questions, if any, do you have? I'm going to start with birthday. Okay, someone had a question about how do we pronounce birthday? Akshat, that was it. Okay, so he wanted to know, how do we pronounce birthday? And we are going to pronounce birthday. We're going to start with that B, ba. The IR is not an I. It's just an Burr. Stick that tongue out. Birth. You can see I have a little cup in my tongue. Birth. So that the air can get over. Birthday. 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 The day becomes shorter because birth is the main part of the word. That's a compound noun. And so we're going to stress word one, birthday, birthday, birthday. So when we stress, I really often talk about things need to be louder, longer, and higher. The opposite is so true as well. The unstressed syllable or word needs to be softer, lower in pitch, and shorter. That's often why you get that sound, that schwa sound in words oftentimes. Okay. Let's see. I'm learning a lot. I have a soft copy of a bunch of words and how they properly say them by syllable. Well, that's nice. I do not have that, but that is something that perhaps I can make for you. I do use in my shorts a very phonetic way of spelling. And a phonetic way of spelling is the way we teach kids in the US to read, is by phonetics. And that sounds have a relationship to symbols or letters that we use to write. So I write my words phonetically, especially in my shorts, and that seems to be very, very helpful for people. So you can go ahead and check that out. Let me bring up a side window here because I'm seeing some other questions. Okay. All right. And welcome, since you've never been here before. I have so many lessons, and I have a lot of older ones too, so you can check those out. Okay. Juan, you wanted to know one versus want. Okay, so one, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. This is one. Is one. And want is want. So the difference is that ending T, one versus want. One, want. Okay. All right. I think I do have a video. I can pop it in the chat here for one. I do. And this is for one and one. There you go. All right. Berry, very, and bury. All right. I do have a bury. Like when someone dies, we bury them in the ground. And you're going to get some thoughts on this from people. My most popular videos are videos where they have variations to the pronunciation. And what I find interesting is that oftentimes these are discussions in households when people come from different areas in the country. Bury and bury are one of those. I say them exactly the same. I think most people do. So you bury someone in the ground and we eat a berry at the same time. I think the key here is to think about it as the vowel air. Berry, berry. And I put the video in the chat there. And this was what I was just referencing. Now for very, which is what I think you're asking here. Yeah, I think it's just a typo. Very, you can see my mouth is open. Very versus berry. So very good berry dessert. Okay. All right. The word next is capitalize. Capitalize. I don't think I have a lesson for this. No. Okay. So let's think about it this way. Capita. I say kappa. Capitalize. 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 For those of you who are new to my channel, I teach T variations a little differently. Some other instructors, I teach the flap T as a fast D sound, and that's why I write it as such. So capitalize, you can say it with a T, capitalize. I say it with that flap T, which sounds like a fast D, capitalize. Super fun one, roller coaster. I don't have this one. Roll. So I start with my R, square tense lips. Roll. Touch the teeth for that L, and then roller. Roller coaster. Roller coaster. Roller coaster. Compound noun here. Roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster. All right. And hello. All right. We did 1 and 1. It is 12:30 here. And hello. Oh, hello. I have been very well. Thank you so much. You are welcome. All right. Let's see. Barry Allen, who is, oh, the Flash. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. Berry is the same as the word berry. Berry. Okay. That is so funny. This is total aside for those who follow me. I have a daughter, Claire, and she and my husband really love superhero movies. And she just went and learned archery this week. I can't remember the superhero that she said she was, but she was some superhero. Okay, so that's Barry Allen. Al, really open wide mouth. Al, touch the teeth and then end with in, the word in. Al, in. Allen, Allen, Allen. Okay. Help. Yes, this is a great request. Okay. I say help with a slight L in there. Okay. So how you're going to do this is you're going to start with that H. Okay. Just that H, the air is just kind of soft and coming out. And then I'm going to move to that sound, that short E. Help. I almost touch the top of my mouth with my tongue for that L. And then I think, should I touch? No. And then I end with that P. Okay, so I get super close. So it's that dark L. And then I say, oops, nope, I'm not going to touch. And then I just end with the P. All right. Some people actually say a really distinct L, help me, help me. I find that to be really cumbersome when you're just talking. So I use that help me, help me. So I'm almost there for that L. And then I'm like, oops, no, I'm just going to close my mouth for that P. Yeah. The noise, I'm having some floors replaced. So bear with me. It's almost finished. It just is taking longer. Okay. Reciprocate. So we have reciprocate, 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 reciprocate. That's a really good one. Okay. Indoctrination. 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 Let's see. Thank you for not worrying about the work. It's just taken a little bit longer than we had expected. Okay, so this is a great question, and you are welcome. So the L is kind of there. It's kind of tricky. So the L in English is oftentimes pronounced like a vowel, and in this case, that's kind of how I'm pronouncing it. So it's kind of there. I don't say hep. Hep would be with no L completely. It's help. So it's kind of there. You can kind of hear that hell, like the word hell, like you might, I hope no one does this, go to hell. Help, help, help. But it's a little bit shorter than if just you're saying the word hell. Actually, I think I have a video on the word hell. Let me put that in, and that might help you. I do. Okay. So let me put this in so you can hear that as well. All right. Hello to you and hello. You guys, I'm in StreamYard with this thing where you can click on everybody and it shows up and I'm loving it. Hi. And let's see. Can't thank you enough. Oh, thank you. And you're so sweet. You always give me suggestions. By the way, I think you told me to go on to Discord. I'm trying to figure it out. My nephew's helping me. I'm slightly confused, but I'm getting there. And you're welcome. Okay. Yeah, the letter T, yes, has a lot of ways to pronounce it. Normal, aspirated, glottal stop, flap. I don't know what la muda means in Spanish. I wouldn't say CH though. I actually have a course on, sorry, my Spanish is terrible. If you've been on my classes before, like it's my dream to be 100% fluent. I feel like I need to come and live in a different country for a little bit. Maybe we can do like a foreign exchange. Okay. Here you go. All right. Hope that helped you on the T variations. And someone let me know, what does la muda mean? I have no idea. Anybody? Okay. Letter B and P. Okay. P, and B, 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 b. My lips are doing exactly the same thing. Air's doing the same thing. The difference is my throat. My throat is not vibrating. Now it's vibrating. Ba, 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 ba. You can put your hand here and you can feel it. You can actually see it. Ba, 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 ba versus ba, ba, ba. So this vibrates for that B sound. That was from me. Oh, I have death and dead. So death has that TH and dead has the D. So death and then dead with just ending with the D. So the TH, air has to move out of your mouth. If you're an American speaker, American English speaker out there, please don't at me and tell me I touch my teeth when I say the TH. Yes, you can because you've been doing this forever. But if you are learning English and it's not your native language, try not to touch your teeth as much as possible. That will help you a lot. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, StreamYard is, oh, hey, by the way, if you did not see, this is Fluent American, and I did a guest spot. He was so awesome, reached out to me. Of course, I talked too much and sent too much information, and I also made a mistake. He left it in, which I love. So you can go and see that at his channel. He's great. Check it out. He also does some lives on the weekend and gives feedback. So for whoever said, I wish I had a microphone, here's the guy to reach out to, okay? So let me find him. Pop your info in the chat, please, Fluent American, so everyone can find you, and then I'll post that. Okay. Through and though. I also think I have a video on this one. I'm going to pop that in there. All right. So this is one of my more popular lessons. These words that are spelled like this, I'm going to put this in the chat here. This gets so darn confusing because of the spelling. Again, my daughter Claire, she is a great reader, but she gets confused sometimes when she's reading out loud with these words because they're all spelled almost exactly the same. And then they're pronounced differently. So through has that R, through, and that oo sound, and then throw. I think that was the other word. I'm getting confused now. Oh, though has the O. So through, and then throw, O. So I popped that in the chat. I also have a video just on these homophones, which I'm kind of loving. And it is all on the different, so throw, through, and through. So you can check that out too. All right. Sorry, closing some windows here. O-U-G-H and A-U-G-H. These are a mess in English. And I have a whole class, an old one, on this. And you can watch that here. I just put that in the chat. Okay. There's variations. Luis, you are so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your nice messages. Thanks to all of you. Recently, I've been getting kind of a bunch of curmudgeons. I love that word, curmudgeons. Just people who are like, you're wrong. It should be this way. This is the right way. If you've been watching my channel, you all know there's no perfect way to talk. So do what works. Let's have people understand you. And that is winning. And if you want to do more than that, I also have lessons on how to be sound more native. But again, I think it's about clarity. When you use actually and in fact correctly. This is tricky because language changes. I hear so many people using actually a lot recently, and I feel like this word is changing a little bit. I just think actually is kind of like casual. Let me think on that a little bit more. That's a good question. Silent T. Ooh, you're right. Is that what the other T was in that comment? Yeah, sometimes we just drop the T altogether, like in the word winter. You can say in the winter. So winter and winter, I'll put that in the chat, would sound the same. So sometimes winter and winter can sound the same. Okay, I did make a server. I just don't really have anything on there. So you can try to look for me. Okay, so this is interesting. I grew up in Western Pennsylvania, and in the word humid, like in the summer, when it's hot, we actually say the H in hot. It is hot, but then we don't say humid, we say humid. Humid. So you do drop the H's sometimes. With him and her, we usually drop that H depending on what the word is before it. So I would say give it to him. No, I would actually say the H there. To her. Yeah. Instead of to her, I would say to her. So I wouldn't say the H there. So you can say the H. But sometimes you don't. I think it's so interesting in America. I think language is becoming more casual. I mean, dress is becoming more casual. And I personally still believe in clear and effective communication. And I think striving to be understood and to be clearer and more exact is helpful, especially depending on your audience. I find that things are really changing, and thoughts on people with different accents are really changing, which I think is a good thing. So I guess it's kind of up to you and how you do want to be perceived. I think the IELTS test is kind of confusing in that language in the US, I would characterize it as being very concise, very direct, and a little more on the casual end, meaning that we will use a lot of compound nouns, phrasal verbs, things that some people might say aren't as formal or as advanced. And again, I think there's a big difference between like formal written English and spoken and conversational, even language that we use in meetings. And that varies again from place to place in terms of businesses as well, which is why I'm really hoping to get some more people on who can, offer some more different voices from different people in America and teach us some vocabulary. Thank you. It is fun to stream here, except, like I said, if you're just joining me, I'm getting my floors redone, so I'm sorry it's so loud. It's actually quieter than it was on Wednesday. I'm going to say American's easier because I was born here. I think it's just whichever one you prefer and whichever one you like. It doesn't matter. Just pick one and stick with one. Correct. No vibration of the throat for the P. Okay. It's just off. So P, pie. Now this gets tricky. So there's something called co-articulation, not to go down too far down a rabbit hole. But sometimes you might feel a little bit of a vibration depending on the sounds before and after, right? So if I say easy peasy, technically that P is unvoiced there, but E, Z, E, P, E, Z, E. We have all of these voice sounds and then the P stuck in the middle. You might hear a little voicing there. That's getting super technical, but technically a P alone, there's no voicing. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. Oh, gotta. I say G-O, gotta, which is another way to say got to, gotta. Thank you. See you later. Okay. That was my comment. Among. I actually think I did a video on this because Among Us was like a thing, which I had to Google because I didn't know what it was. Okay, so this is for among. We are just going to say among. All right. I have a hard time with R and T. Turtle. Okay. So all of those words like, this is kind of a loaded, let's see, turtle. Okay. For the T. So a lot of times when you have that vowel and then the L after it, turtle, you're going to make that T as a D sound, a super fast D sound, which is technically the flap T. Turtle. I don't have a video for that. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to make one for that. And you are welcome. Okay. I really am going to have to go in a minute here. Hi, Douglas. You're so sweet too. You leave me so many nice comments. Scene, thank you. You are correct. I find it very challenging. I did work with a guy in Japan. He teaches it. He has his own school, E4TG. If you guys are in Japan and you need someone for TOEFL prep, he's great. I learned some tips and tricks from him, but he's definitely the expert. You can reach out to him. Oh, thank you, Willie. I think for these tests too, which I find tricky, is that oftentimes if you're saying a word that is native to your language, but you don't pronounce it the English way, like you get points off, and I don't like that. I think that's kind of weird. You probably are like bilingual in American and British English because I know you like use some superhero movies. So you probably know both of those. Okay. People in Kentucky do sound different. Yeah, they definitely have a different accent. It's an interesting place to visit. Were you there making maybe some like bourbon or whiskey or something, or maybe doing something like that? I don't know. I hope you had fun nonetheless. And you are welcome. Okay, so any more questions before I go? Thank you all so much. Go to my website to get those free downloads. You can also go to Teachers Pay Teachers, and I'm going to get you that link here. And I have a few other free downloads there. You do not have to be a teacher to download from here at all. It just depends on where you like to get your resources. They also have some great stuff on here. And then one last thing, let me find Fluent American on YouTube. Okay. So this is Jeff, and he will be able to hook you up with some feedback. Okay, I am actually working on some spelling and reading videos because this is huge with learning how to pronounce words if you know the phonetics and that sound symbol relationship. And I'm working on that, and I'm trying to make it sort of systematic, but then also short bites so that people can get a little bit more out of that. So thanks so much, everyone. Thanks for dealing with my pounding and everything. I know I went way over, like 25 minutes over, so I'm sorry. Thanks for all hanging in there, and I will see you all soon. One last ask. If you like this, let your friends know that we have these and share my channel with your friends. And